So today it's the Monster Mile. There you go. There's the big old monster in the car. But 50 years ago, this track was bare bones. This was all dirt. And the video I'm getting ready to show you is nothing more than all the pictures that another fellow photographer took. Amazing pictures of 50 years ago of what this track was like in the day, and the bare bones driving and the bare bones cars. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoy what's coming next, all these photographs. Hey guys, welcome back to MotorHeadMen. Kuda Bill here. So this is going to be our first real picture video. Over the years I've captured so many images and so many events that this is going to be the first one from our nostalgia view. These pictures you're getting ready to see are probably 75 to 100 photos of Dover Downs in 1973. This would have been the Delaware 500. That race was held in September of 1973. And I was at that race. I mean, my mom took me to these races. I was 8 years old when I went to that race. And what an amazing time it was. And to stumble on these pictures a few years ago, a fellow photographer in Delaware, Jim Panucci, Jim, I hope I said your name right, he found these images cleaning out a house. They were Kodak slides. He transferred them to digital, and he started sharing them, and my younger sister saw them and knew my passion with going racing, going to the racetracks with my mom. My mom was a dirt track and NASCAR fan. So she took me early. I think my first race was 1971 at Dover Downs. That was a special race for me because I got to meet a couple of her friends, Glenn and Delano Wood, and I got to sit in the Wood Brothers race car back when David Pearson drove it and pretended like I was driving. I have a picture of that and I can't find it, but anyway, let's get back to the race. Let's get back to these pictures. So it's just amazing. The bare bones track. You saw the intro. I went down and recorded that intro. And what a change. That track has changed so much over the years. I think the last time I was actually there for a race was the 80s. I haven't been there in probably 30 years. But it was a great time when I was growing up. And the beginning of these pictures is what they did for opening ceremonies, the fire trucks, the bands, the cheerleaders, the pace cars and the other cars advertising other events all riding around the track. They're really cool to look at these pictures and see the way this happened in 1971. This track was really only a beginner track at that time. It was a Winston Cup track. We didn't even know what NASCAR was at the time. And as you look at these pictures, it's amazing. The drivers' meeting was on the starter line. Their pictures will be popping up of that. Everybody's standing around talking to the announcer, and you can tell which drivers which, because they're actually as they're talking to the announcer, they're actually taking pictures of him talking to the announcer. So, and then you can see the lineup of the race, all the cars. It's amazing seeing all the bare bones operations back those simple toolboxes, and the pits were nothing. It's just really cool to look back at these events. Now, the only thing I remember about going to Dover Downs was being able to sit in David Pearson's race car, and how uncomfortable the seats were. You had to carry a cushion or a pillow to sit on because they were like high school football bleachers, and they were pretty hard to sit on that long. And me as a kid, I couldn't sit still. Mom would let me run down to the gate, and hell, at that time, you could almost put your hand through the gate and touch the cars. We didn't know how dangerous it was, and it was a fun time in NASCAR or in Winston Cup. So here they are. Here's all the pictures. Hope you're enjoying them as I'm flashing them across the screen to see the cars out on the track and see the way everything was set up and done in the time, and see the atmosphere of the track, the haircuts, the styles. Of course, whoever took these pictures are a man after my own heart. There's pictures, a few pictures of the women and the styles, the sexy short skirts. That's pretty cool. Whoever took these pictures made sure to get a couple of those in there. And then you get to see around the track, the way the track was set up, and the cars out in the cars in the infield and the cars outside the track. So now we get to see the start of the race, and you get to see the checker flag of the race, and then the timing tower. I think that timing tower is still there today. Last time I watched the race on TV, I think that same timing tower is still there. It might be one of the only things left. The pits were nothing more than a roof, an open-in garage with a roof, and or the garage, the racing garage area was nothing more than a covered roof, open on both ends. And the pits were just a few toolboxes, some tires, and gas cans. So it's really cool to see all that and look back at it to the way racing was, the bare bones operation it was. So, and I'm lucky enough to have had a mother who in high school, she grew up in a little town in Kreitz, Virginia, which is right in between Martinsville, Virginia and Stuart, Virginia. Of course, she met some guys, as the story goes. In high school, her and her friends met a bunch of guys at the Kreitz and Stuart football game. Well, some of them guys, two of them were Glenn and Delano Wood. So Mom had gotten, I think she said it was Delano invited her to come to the dirt track, which is at Martinsville. And this would have been, I think Mom graduated in 58. So I guess this would have been the middle 50s that Mom was invited over to the dirt track. And Mom got a passion for racing ever since she went to the Martinsville dirt track. So she carried it over into me by taking me to all the Delaware dirt tracks and all the NASCAR tracks. And it's probably the passion, seeing these race cars and these men build these cars. It's probably where I got my passion to start building cars. My father was into restoring military vehicles, and my first car was a 71 Kodak. So, or my first hot rod was a 71 Kodak. So, pretty cool to see how you get started in these kind of things. You look back today. I really hope you guys enjoy all these pictures. I'm not a commentator. I'm a mechanic, and I'm trying to drag this script out as long as I can, so I can drag these pictures out and open them up so you really get a chance to look at them, not just a blip on your screen. So, if I have to, I'll put some music on at the end. But the goal is to show you these images that somebody else took and preserved, and I got a chance to show them in a YouTube channel, which I love doing because it was a special event for me. It was a special time for me in my life. So again, I hope you guys enjoy them. I hope I've talked enough and commented enough to drag this video out for you. You can see all these pictures. And if you like what I'm doing, I'm going to be sharing a lot more images I've trapped in the 80s and 90s, car events, race events, special things we've went to and filmed. So stay tuned to MotorHeadMen on YouTube. Stay tuned. We got a lot more to come. Like, subscribe, and share. Really happy to see all the new subscribers coming in. I'm going to do everything I can to catch up with the comments going on with the cars I got working on here. And in a few short weeks, finally, I get on the road, take this show on the road, as they call it. I've got a lot of really cool shops to visit, a lot of really cool places to stop and talk to people. Some of the men I've talked to over the years, but never got to meet face to face. I get to go see their collections and talk with them. And they're willing to open the doors. These are old school guys who are not about really sharing their collections, but they're going to open the doors and let me in, and we're going to talk about their collections and their passion to build cars. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.